Welcome back. All right, so we're at the end of August. So tomorrow it's September, which means we're into training camp time pretty quick here. But there's still some signing news going on as well, and of course, we're still waiting on Montreal here. And there's a lot of discussion about what Montreal might do, could do, should do, maybe they won't do, and in the end, do they just match? Did they not? Right? So while all that is hanging over the hockey world, Connor Murphy has signed a 4-year extension with the Chicago Blackhawks, which gives him a bump up in terms of his cap hit. For this coming season, 2021-2022, his cap hit is $3.85 million. For the 4 years that follow, it's going to be $4.4 million. So it's a decent contract, and I do like 4-year contracts. That to me is, I think, the best term for a contract. I think there's a lot less risk. I think that it works for a player and for the team. And if the player keeps playing well during those 4 years, then they likely make more money at the end of it anyways. So, yeah. So Murphy's sticking around. He's not going anywhere. Look for teams to start trying to whittle down next year's UFA class as soon as possible. With all the chaos we've seen in this offseason, I don't think teams are going to want to take that risk. One free agent signing in particular that I think of is Philip Grubauer, who Colorado had every intention of sticking around, looked like he wanted to stay, and then he's in Seattle. So I think that's another example of how it's better to get these guys done early on, get that all figured out, and then you don't have to worry about it. Dylan Guenther has signed his entry-level contract with the Arizona Coyotes. A number of the first-round picks from this year have signed their entry-level contracts. Again, jury's still out on how many of them are actually going to play in the NHL this year. It may be a lower number due to the leagues not playing as many games as they normally would, so that may hurt their production and their development. But we'll see, right? There very well could be some surprises and some guys sticking around in the NHL this year. If you've been following the Women's Hockey Championships at all, we will see a gold medal game between the U.S. and Canada. That is not a surprise. And while the games are close here and there, it's Canada and the U.S. That's your final two. And so that gold medal game is today. I'm considering taking notes during that game and actually doing a review of it. I haven't decided yet whether I will or I won't. And I've honestly had the board set up and thought about it, but there just hasn't been enough. It hasn't been competitive enough where it feels like it's a back and forth. Usually in most of the games, the shots have been very one-sided, at least in the ones I've been watching. But we'll see how it goes in the gold medal game today and whether or not Canada can complete their revenge on the Americans, because the Americans have done quite well against the Canadian ladies. And so we'll see whether or not that's still the case in the gold medal game. I mean, as happy as I was for the round-robin game that Canada won, gold medal game, it's totally different, and we'll see how things go. One rumor that's starting to gain traction, I've been seeing this a lot, so I'm going to address it here in this video. If Montreal doesn't match on Kotkaniemi, right, and if Kotkaniemi leaves, do they take those draft picks and other draft picks they currently have? Montreal does not trade away a lot of draft picks. Do they have enough draft picks and enough pieces to make a Jack Eichel trade work? And the question mark with Eichel is still his health, right? We haven't had any clarity yet on what the plan is with fixing his back/neck issues, right? So this is a major problem, and so if Montreal were throwing multiple first-round picks and all this, it doesn't necessarily fix that problem, that you don't know what the situation with Eichel is going to be like. And so while Eichel going to Montreal would make some sense, although Buffalo trading him in their own division, I don't know. I don't know how well that would go down. Just in general, it would be a huge pickup for Montreal. Automatically their number one center easily, and it would change the dynamic for that team. But again, that's looking at him as healthy, and he's not there right now. Everything's still on hold with Eichel. So while I understand that people will make that connection between, well, if Kotkaniemi doesn't get signed or kept by Montreal and they take that compensation and try to get somebody else, and they may, Eichel's price tag may still be a little bit too high when you don't know what's going on with his health. So it may be one of those situations where as a general manager, you say, okay, we want to make this deal, but We want to talk to the player first. We want to talk to the physicians. We want to talk to everybody and make an informed decision on this. So I don't think it's that easy, and I think that's part of the reason why there hasn't been a trade made yet, because there are so many different angles to look at from this. There's the cap hit for Eichel, which is a lot. You have the health questions with Eichel as well, and then there may be some demand by Buffalo that other teams look at and say that seems a little bit high for him. So we'll see what happens. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. I do expect that the Eichel thing is going to be on everybody's minds until something happens. Either he gets surgery or he gets better. I would think gets traded at that point, or maybe he doesn't get traded. So we'll see what happens. I've seen some prolonged disputes between teams and players before. It just feels like it's been a long time since we've seen anything like this. And so we'll see how it turns out. I'm as curious as anybody else. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happen upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. And here's the one question for Montreal fans to close this out. If they don't match on Kotkaniemi and you get that first and third round pick from Carolina, would you be in favor of Marc Bergevin taking that first and third and trying to improve the center spot, or do you just go with what you have? Let me know your thoughts, and if you go that route, who do you target? Which center would you like to see Montreal target? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks again for all your support. I'll talk to you guys very soon.